Full coverage of the fourth test between India and England at Old Trafford in Manchester. The series stands at 2-1 in England's favour, but as we've seen time and again, in cricket anything can happen, isn't it, Narayan?
Definitely, but this series has been heartbreak and hope, and the stage is now set for another classic. Jasprit Bumrah continues to lead India's pace attack with fire and precision, hoping to turn the tide and level the series.
Well, England, meanwhile, have their match-own winner, Ben Stokes, leading the pack and Jofra Archer firing on all cylinders. Now, both the sides have faced setbacks as well, from injuries to missed chances. But their determination remains rock solid.
Rishabh Pant is fit again, and all eyes will also be on Jack Crawley, who is trying to adapt and anchor England's top order.
The pitch at Old Trafford promises pace and bounce, but weather could play a part with showers expected on the first 2 days.
And so let's get started with the Old Trafford, new script and India's fourth test against England. Will India make it 2-2 or will England seal the series?
Now, one thing is certain, we are going in for another gripping contest. So here we begin now with, first of all, the preview of India versus England fourth test. And with the series on the line, all eyes now shift to Old Trafford in Manchester, where England and India are all set to lock horns in the crucial fourth test. Well, it's a venue that has historically offered no favours to the visitors, which is India. So with injuries in the squad, can India rewrite history or will England seal another home series? Our next report will get you more details. Take a look.
The historic Old Trafford Stadium in Manchester gears up to host the fourth test of the 5-match series between India and England. With hosts leading 2-1, this match could prove decisive and daunting for India. India has never tasted victory at Old Trafford. It's not just the venue that's challenging for India, there's a growing injury concern as well. All-rounder Nitish Reddy and pacer Arshdeep Singh have suffered injuries while training for the test. Reddy has been ruled out of the remainder of the series. Rishabh Pant, who hurt his finger during the third test, may only be fit to bat and not keep the wickets. Anshul Kamboj has been called up and may debut in the fourth test, hinting at changes in the pace unit with Arshdeep Singh also sidelined. The top order sees no major shuffle. Yashasvi Jaiswal and KL Rahul are expected to open. Shubman Gill holds his spot at number 4, while the all-rounder unit of Ravindra Jadeja and Washington Sundar is expected to remain unchanged. Jasprit Bumrah leads the bowling attack. With multiple frontline pacers out, all eyes will be on Anshul Kamboj and the support cast of Mohammad Siraj.
हाँ जस्सी भाई तो खेलेंगे अभी तो यही पता है बट जैसा कॉम्बिनेशन डे बाय डे चेंज हो रही है तो हम लोग का एक ही प्लान है कि जितना हो सके जैसा इंग्लैंड की बैटिंग अटैक है तो हम लोग का ये एक ही प्लान है कि जितना हो सके हम लोग एक गुड एरियाज में डालिए और वहां पर हिट करें क्योंकि उन लोग ज्यादा पेशेंस से खेले क्योंकि लास्ट मैच आप देखेंगे बहुत ज्यादा पेशेंस से खेले तो हम लोग को भी अच्छा लगा कि ये हाँ भाई सही ये टेस्ट क्रिकेट का मजा अब आ रहा है.
England will be confident. They've dominated at home and now just stand one win away from sealing another series. England has made just one change to its playing 11, with all-rounder Liam Dawson replacing the injured Shoaib Bashir.
Yeah, obviously we're in a strong position. We're happy with the way that the games have gone so far. They've been tense, they've been good to watch. And yeah, we're looking forward to this week. Like I said, India's such a good side that they can bounce back at any stage. We saw that after beating them at Headingley, they've bounced back and had an excellent performance at Edgbaston. So yeah, we've got to go out there, try and do our thing and hopefully it's better than theirs.
With India trailing the series and history stacked against them at the Old Trafford, the fourth test isn't just about squaring the series, it's about defying the odds. Can India finally conquer Manchester or will England continue their dominance at home? Sports Desk, DD India.
And the toss has been, we can say that, won by England and they decided to field first. And for England, already know their playing 11 was already, they have announced. And talking about the India, here we can see that once again they got back Sai Sudarshan in place of Karun Nair. It was on expected line, and also Shardul Thakur is there, and Anshul Kamboj gets his debut directly coming from the India, and we know that what kind of bowler he is in the first class cricket. He has taken 10 wickets in a single inning, the feat earlier done by Anil Kumble. So we are hoping that the playing 11 will help India to level this series, especially I think the way they have brought back the key batter Sai Sudarshan.
Indeed.
Ji.
And when we talk about, Anshul Kamboj coming into play, this is a huge debut for Anshul Kamboj, and looking at his past records as well, where he has, really dominated the field, he will get a very good opportunity. But also, looking at the toss decision, it is a fact which has been highlighted by many that no team has ever won the toss here at Manchester, chosen to bowl and ultimately win the match. So this comes as a very crucial point when we talk about the toss here, but Ben Stokes has decided to do so. After winning the toss, they've chosen to bowl first. So let's see how the match unfolds. However, the weather is overcast. The conditions are overcast there in Manchester. Narayan.
Definitely, we can say that the way they made 3 changes, I think it's going to help. And there are few venues in the world cricket that remain unconquered by the team India, and Old Trafford is one such fortress. As India face England in the 4th Test match at Old Trafford, let's rewind to a ground that has a century of history and records that span over decades. Here is more on the record of the Indian team in Manchester.
Well, India and England are playing a 5-match test series, with England currently leading by 2-1. The 4th test of the series has been started in Manchester, and former Indian cricketer Jatin Paranjape spoke to DD India and said this young Indian team has the potential to make a strong comeback. Take a listen.
The Anderson Tendulkar series is underway right now, and currently England is leading the series 2-1. And to talk more on this, I am joined by former India cricketer Jatin Paranjape. So a very warm welcome. The way series went, the score would have been actually 3-0 in favor of India, but somehow it is 2-1. So what really went wrong for India?
I thought India have been a little careless in this series. At points in all the 3 test matches, I mean, we won 1, but the remaining 2 test matches, they were at certain situations, they were dictating the game. That is the time when you're dictating the game, you've got to put the opposition out of the game completely. They've allowed England to come back more than once. The Rishabh Pant run out, I thought, was very, very careless. And that was what changed the entire fortune of the game. If he and Rahul had added 60 or 70 more, India would have had a comfortable lead. And if they had had a lead, they would not have lost the test match. So I think India need to be careful. They need to balance that natural aggression which they have in their DNA with some care. So I think care is the operative word for them for the next 2 test matches. I think we will win both the test matches, and we'll come back 3-2 winners.
So you mentioned about the carelessness. If you're talking about the 3rd test match at Lord's, India gave 63 extra runs in comparison to England's 33. Yeah. So do you think that England need to be more disciplined to be...
And that's what I mean. They need to run a tighter ship. From an execution perspective, and they need to be mindful of every run over the next couple of test matches. They will be. It's a team which has a strong support unit as well. So I'm sure whatever I'm speaking about would have been spoken in the dressing rooms as well ahead of the 3rd test match, ahead of the 4th test match. So I think you will see a tighter Indian team in the 4th test match.
Talking about Shubman Gill, the way started scoring a double century and a 150 plus score, but in the 3rd test match we saw that he looked bit, we can say that aggressive, but that is not his natural trait. he was going to the umpire for again for the ball, that the ball is getting loose. And also we saw that he's also taking a dig at the England. So I think, do you think that Shubman Gill just maintained his originality to be at the par?
Yeah, it's. I think it's a great question, and he. You need to maintain your original kind of character, demeanor, behavior, mindset. I think India have kind of overdone it a little bit about going to the umpire for the ball all the time. For me, it's not in good taste. I think they need to tone it down a little bit and focus on the game. And I'm sure all these things would be discussed like we are discussing it here.
We are hoping that the way things happen, India will definitely bounce back in the series and win a series in England after 2007. With camera person Piyush, Narayan Singh, Reading India, Delhi. So currently the series is 2-1 in favor of England, and if we talk about how the series panned out in the first test match, England won the test match, the first test match at Headingley by 5 wickets, and if we talk about the second test match at Edgbaston, it was a one-sided win by India by 336 runs, a big win to level the series. And talking about the third test match that was at Lord's, by a small margin, England won by 22 runs. And now the fourth test match has been started at Old Trafford, and the duration is from 23 to 27th, and the final test match will be played at Oval from July 31.
But the fourth test is indeed a do-or-die match for Team India when we look at it, and Indian captain Shubman Gill is all set for it. But before that, Indian captain Shubman Gill accused England of ignoring the spirit of cricket after the hosts' time-wasting tactics in the third test at Lord's that sparked an angry flare-up between both the teams. The tourists out to have been able to bowl 2 overs late in the third day's play of the third test after being dismissed for 387. However, Crawley ensured that there was only 1 over from Jasprit Bumrah before the stumps. Now, he twice withdrew from his stance and then called for the physio after the 5th ball that appeared to make minimal contact with his glove. Now, tempers flared as it became evident India would not be able to bowl another over before the close of the play. However, we've had statements after that that looking at both the sides, it is a game of temper and both the sides have to remain in the most calmest situation and position. This is what we've heard from both the captains as well. And now let's give you a rounded perspective on this as I'm now joined by our expert of the day, Mr. Ajay Mehra, and also joining us is Abhishek Mahajan, a DD India correspondent. First of all, coming on to you, Mr. Mehra, what do you think of the decision made by Stoke after winning the toss, choosing to bowl first? The history says otherwise. Mr. Mehra.
The off surface there has led to the desire by Ben Stokes, because once his cars are fresh as well, the swimmers will be getting a bit of help on the surface. So I think that's why they have opted to bowl first. And if you don't pick up wickets in the first few overs, it's going to be England on the back foot. Both the teams are really good batting line, the depth in batting. So I think England know that, but I think they have to bowl well. They will be relying on their seam department. Of course, they have a new winner as well with them, Dawson now. But I think, yes, India, made the 3 changes in the 11 that was needed. Karun Nair wasn't firing. Shardul Thakur being all-rounder, he gets the nod as well. Anshul Kamboj comes in. I strongly believe, Deepika, that Anshul Kamboj is a very, very good bowler. I've seen him a lot at the first class level. He's a fantastic bowler, picking up 10 wicket innings against Kenya. There was no mean feat, but the fuller length. And I feel, this year can fire for England, first if they don't pick many wickets in the session itself on day 1.
Ajay, if we talk about this Indian bowling lineup, especially the pace bowling lineup, what's wrong with it? The Indian pace lineup keep breaking down. In the past also we saw same in the Border Gavaskar Trophy. If you take a look at the IPL, we had the bowlers like Mayank Agarwal. If we talk about he is also, we can say that it's a big problem in the India right now. Talking about this match, 3 pacers are injured. So how it can be fixed?
Narayan, see, nowadays, these playing all through the year. There is no off period or off months or off weeks. They throw the year. So sometimes, your body takes that, it's not easy for any player, especially for a fast. For a batsman, it's fine. Some you will get raw, sometimes you'll get rest as well. But fast bowling is the toughest job in cricket. So I think got to, you can't do much. Someone like Steve, he got injured while practicing bowling in the nets, was hit by a shot coming to him. So, that's a part and parcel. Akash, Deep, Nitish, you're right, both are getting injured. Both are key players for India. Akash, Deep, just the way he's bowled, he's been a revelation. Because of cricket, but that's the reason you need to have bench strength. That's so very important. I think India are really fortunate. They have Anshul Kamboj. They have even Mukesh Kumar, who's a really bowler. He hasn't been tried out in England so far, but I feel he too is a very bowler. So you need to have that bench strength, and especially for the fast bowler, because everybody can down. We were all hearing about Bumrah as playing only 3 test matches. Of course, he's playing. This is the year for India. They need to this test match to draw well. But being a fast bowler is not this jobs in cricket.
Right. Coming on to you, Abhishek, what do you think of the changes? Because, as Mr. Mehra also said, that we have to have a good bench strength when we talk about it. Anshul Kamboj coming in is a very big opportunity for him. But also, on the other hand, we have Sai Sudarshan and Shardul Thakur for Nitish Reddy there. What do you think of the 3 changes India has made ahead of this very crucial encounter today, Abhishek?
Yes, Deepika, Karun, Akashdeep and Reddy, 2 are forced changes. Akashdeep and Reddy, they are injured. Unfortunate that they are not part of this game, because we all know how Reddy contributed in the last game, and also not to forget how Akashdeep bowled in the last 2 test matches. But yes, like you said, Deepika, big game for Anshul Kamboj. He took 5 wickets. He played for India A against England Lions. He took 5 wickets. And like Narayan also mentioned, third bowler to take 10 wickets in an innings. He plays for Haryana in the first class for India, and he took 10 wickets in an innings against Kerala. And very interesting fact also, Deepika, Anil Kumble was the last player for India who made debut at Manchester back in 1990, and now Anshul Kamboj. And interestingly, both the Indians have taken 10 wickets in an innings. Yes, Anil Kumble in the international test match, and yes, Anshul Kamboj in the first class game. But yes, big game for Anshul Kamboj, and unfortunate for Akashdeep. But yes, unfortunate for Karun Nair also. Deepika, when everyone was expecting that Sai Sudarshan would get a game after he was, he couldn't score big in the first game at Leeds, but yes, he was dropped. And then now Karun Nair, he has not done anything wrong, but yes, he has not been able to score big. He has got good starts. He got 40 odd in the last game, but yes, very unfortunate for him. But yes, on the other side, big opportunity for Sai Sudarshan also, that he has got a game.
Abhishek rightly mentioned, as you said, about the debutant Anshul Kamboj. But talking about, as you mentioned, that Karun Nair is not in the squad because we saw that the kind of expectation was from him. He was not able to live up to those expectations. But finally, justice for Sai Sudarshan, the most technically sound batsman of this era. If you take a look, his hand-eye coordination, if you take a look at his head and toe line, definitely justice has been done for him after giving a single chance in the first test match.
Oh yes, Narayan, that's the other way of looking at it. But I would say very unfortunate for Karun Nair also. Why Sai Sudarshan was dropped in the first place after the first game, that raised a lot of questions, because when we talk about MS Dhoni as Indian captain, Virat Kohli, they all talked about giving confidence to players, not dropping players after one single disappointment. But yes, Sai Sudarshan was dropped. That decision was made. Now Karun Nair has been dropped. He has got, like I said, he has got good starts in both the test matches. He has been taking good catches in the slip cordon, also not dropping anyone. But yes, that's half glass full for Sai Sudarshan. He has got a game and big opportunity for him. And yes, like you said, technically sound. He plays straight. He plays in V. And I think Mr. Ajay Mehra would also agree with me that, I don't know, it's a little unfortunate for Karun Nair also. But yes, big opportunity for Sai Sudarshan.
Before we
Right.
talk about the England's single change also, first of all, we would like to take your reaction on Karun Nair, Mr. Mehra.
Yeah, Deepika, it's very fortunate because, he's one man who's really made a comeback, fantastic comeback because of getting loads and loads of runs at the domestic level. So never easy for England. But, you have to feel for him. And as Abhishek rightly mentioned, he was getting the starts, he was playing really well. But, you have to get runs. As a top order batsman, you have to be consistent. That's the need of the hour. We've seen with Jaiswal, we've seen with KL Rahul, we've seen with Shubman Gill, how many runs they've been getting. So, 30s really don't count for when you test match cricket because you have to convert those stars into big score. Yeah, he was lucky as well, got brilliantly slip Gordon. But, one has to really feel for him because he's got the fair number of opportunities. Yeah, a lot of people are saying probably one more test match, but then how long a rope you give him? For Sai Sudan just played one test match, not given the opportunity. So, that's not done for with a youngster. So I think, you have to decide on that. And, it's tough on Karun Nair. Because now the road for him ahead is going to be tough. But Sai Darshan, great opportunity for him. He got it count. He's a cricketer. We've seen him in the IPL, as rightly mentioned, technically very sound. Good, head on his shoulders, and I hope he gets big runs here. But, I just feel for someone like Karun Nair, Deepika.
And now let's talk about England's side also because we know the fact that Bashir played a pivotal role in Lord's Test. But here, Bashir is not there and Dawson has come here after 8 years, making a comeback in the Test format of the series. How much of a strategizing point of view does that reflect on England's part? Because although they are confident, but we also do know the fact that they hired the mental coach there and they are taking advices. They know that never to underestimate Team India also. How much of a loss is it for Team England not having Bashir today?
I feel, that Shoaib Bashir, to me, honestly, has been very ordinary, very ordinary. At Indian first level, you find so much quality off spinner, and England at the moment dearth of quality spinners. I was talking to a lot of players as well. Don't have, and you mentioned Liam Dawson coming after a while, left arm because they don't have any class of spinner with them. There was a era when they had someone like Nali, they had Adil Rashid, they had quality bowlers, but now they're just lacking it. And, for him, that of course, Shoaib is injured in the last match. But I thought whatever he did, of course, with that injury, that's fine. To me, it looked very ordinary. And I think probably left arms might be mosted. At least he can plug up the runs. He doesn't flow bowl accurately as well because they are very heavily on the seam department. They have Chris Woke, they have Brian Haas, they have Joe Archer. So it's a Stokes, of course. He's a very customer with the ball as well. So they have the resources. But I think Dawson might be a better, substitute for someone like Shoaib Bashir.
Ajay, if we will not discuss the frontline bowler, we can say that he's a stock bowler, he's a frontline bowler, he bowled to use in the middle overs too, that is Mohammad Siraj. The discussion will be incomplete. If you take a look, every role he has done in this tournament to India's leading wicket taker with 13 wickets. If you take a look, so far in the 3 matches, in the 6th inning, he has bowled more than 109 overs. And if you take a look after 2021, he has bowled more than 956 overs for India. So how you look Mohammad Siraj's role in this Indian team?
First thing, I'm always very impressed with him because he's got the attitude of bowler. Sometimes you might pick the wickets, but he's aggression. And you need that aggression when you're playing a quality side. You're playing Australia, you're playing a New Zealand, England side, South Africa. You need that aggression. And, it's really, I thought in the first match he was up and down. But, after that, he's a different proposition altogether. Siraj, he's doing a really good length. He's selling with a lot of fire. He knows his player because he knows, he is now the experienced campaigner. Yeah, India drafted Akash as well, but be senior, with like Bumrah. And remember that Test match India won. Bumrah didn't play that, but Siraj really lifted himself. Bowler picked up those wickets, and then not what they did with the bat as well. They were standing at odds. Both of them. Bumrah playing 84 deliveries. With Jadeja, and that was exceptional. So, you're fighters to the core, and that is what I want to see. When you're playing international cricket, yeah, they'll be fierce, life, your ups and downs, but, they are quality bowlers, they bowl with aggression, with that flair. And I want to have a lot of praise for saying, I think he's done a wonderful job so far. Just hope he keeps it up in Manchester as well.
Now, a very quick comment from you, Abhishek. When we talk about today's match, first few hours are very crucial. And today, the players really need to amp up their performance. And especially when we talk about the highest scorer, one of the highest scorer, Shubman Gill, who's amassed more than 600 runs. He really needs to amp up his game and score big today, isn't it, Abhishek?
Yes, Deepika, absolutely. A lot will depend on Indian batters, and Shubman Gill also said during the toss that he was a little confused. Again, fourth consecutive time he has lost the toss. He said for the second consecutive time that he was confused whether he should bat or bowl. India, they'll be batting today. Yes, first few overs will be very crucial. We got to win the sessions, Deepika, like we did in the last game. Also, India has been batting well, but yes, testing times for the Indian batsmen. I think this will be the most crucial pitch. There's a little bit of grass there on the pitch. It's overcast here in Delhi and overcast there at Manchester also, Deepika. During the next 5 days also, 5 days, there will be light rain, nothing to worry about, but there will be overcast conditions. And to the lead up to the game also, there has been a lot of rain, and that is the reason why that England, they chose to field first. They didn't go with the records. They went with the conditions.
Right.
But yes, first session, especially first hour, will be very crucial. Yashasvi Jaiswal and KL Rahul, they need to play confidently in the first few overs, and yes, that will set the tone for the rest of the innings.
Right.
Right, as you mentioned, that first few overs and the first session will be crucial. One final reaction from you, Ajay. If you take a look at the day third of the Lord's Test, where we saw a lot of discussions, where we saw an aggressive Shubman Gill, and do you think that aggressiveness has impacted his batting on day 4? Do you think he should be an original Shubman Gill, or should not be aggressive to be at par in his batting?
I'll just ask him not to be Virat Kohli, be Shubman Gill. He's doing really well, Shubman Gill. Be not to Virat Kohli. He's a fantastic player. He's a really good captain. We all know that. Because sometimes you cross the line, it affects your game as well. There were issues with the ball. There were issues there cropping up. But, you got to school. Being a captain, we see, what MS Dhoni has done. Stay cool, be calm, and the team will do. You can't be crossing the line time and time. And that's exactly what he was doing there in the last test match. So I think, my advice, be Shubman Gill, and you're pretty well.
All right. Thank you so much, Mr. Mehra, and thank you so much, Abhishek Mahajan, for joining us and bringing us a rounded perspective on the very crucial do-or-die match, the 4th test match between India and England at Manchester today.
So thanks for joining us, and until we meet again, keep cheering your favorite athletes and favorite players, and keep watching the crucial match at Manchester between the heavyweights of the world cricket.
Fingers
Namaskar.
crossed for both the teams. Namaskar, and thank you so much for joining us.
Namaskar.